I just have a quick little update. I'm giving away a UFC 229 poster, so if you're interested in winning that, that's Khabib versus Conor, by the way. If you're interested in winning that poster, go into the description and click the link because I have a video explaining on how you can do it. It's easy and it's obviously free. What's going on, everybody? My name is Mason from Cyclone MMA, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about UFC prospects and some fighters who are future champions in the making. Let's get right into it. All right, first things first, we got Zabit Magomedsharipov. The first time I saw this dude fight was absolute insanity. It was UFC 223, and that was Khabib versus Al Iaquinta. And he fought on the undercard. I forget if it was prelims or if it was on the main card, but it was against a dude named Kyle Bochniak, and they just put on an absolute bloodbath war. I loved it. He did crazy spinning shit. He had a lot of crazy submission attempts. He was jumping off the cage. He was flipping all over the place, and he just put on a really, really flashy, fun, entertaining fight. The thing about Zabit that's so incredible is he's so well-rounded. His striking is really, really good. He's beaten guys like Calvin Kattar, who has great striking, and he's beaten Jeremy Stevens. He has a really good stature to be a 145er. He's tall, skinny, and he doesn't have like a lot of power, but he just has a crazy output, and his reach and length just makes it so opponents can't really get to him. And on top of all those things, he looks like Abraham Lincoln. So, I mean, that's pretty cool too. Next, I want to talk about another Russian, and that is Islam Makhachev in the lightweight division. We all know that the lightweight division is super, 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 super stacked. But Islam Makhachev, just like, he stands out among all of those fighters. I want to say he has an undefeated record. Islam Makhachev is like a training partner of Khabib's, and I want to say he's like related to him in some way, but I could be wrong. But he's basically Khabib 2.0. From what I've heard, he has wrestling that's not as good, but his striking's better than Khabib. And a lot of people are thinking that he's just like waiting in that, you know, that 10 to 15 spot until Khabib retires, and then he's just going to shoot up the rankings and become the next lightweight champion eventually. I don't know about that because, you know, the lightweight division is stacked. You have so many dogs there. You got Tony Ferguson, you got Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor is always waiting in the wings, but Islam Makhachev is certainly a really good prospect and is someone to look out for in the future. Next, we have Comzot Chemiev. I butchered that name, didn't I? Anyways, you guys all know this dude because he won 2 fights in the matter of 10 days, and no one's done that before. And the thing about it, too, is he did one of them at middleweight, and then he did the other one at welterweight, and he just absolutely demolished his opponents. It was a complete one-sided beatdown, and it's really interesting to see what he can do. I think the fact that he was so dominant at middleweight just paves the way for him being a really, really good welterweight contender. Now, one criticism is, at least right now, we can say he's one-dimensional. He will just ragdoll you, put you on the ground, and beat you up. We don't really see how his, striking is on the ground, or on the feet, rather. But it seems like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now, what he's doing is working. We'll see how it works at the top level, though. It'd be really interesting to see how a fight with him and either Colby Covington or Kamaru Usman would be because, those are 2 fighters who are very good on the ground but can also stand pretty well. It'll be interesting to see how he does against these better wrestlers in the division as he moves on. Next, we're going to go up to the heavyweight division, and I'm not going to talk about Francis Ngannou because he already fought for the championship belt. I'm trying to pick people who haven't fought for the belt yet, so I'm going to go ahead and put in Curtis Blaydes. This dude is really, really good at fighting, especially against people who aren't named Francis Ngannou. Yes, he might not have the most interesting style because he kind of hugs people, brings them down, and then licks them a little bit and punches them in the head. I don't know why I said licks. That's kind of weird. Yes, he might not have the most interesting style, but he demolishes everyone he fights with an exception of Francis Ngannou. But I'd pick Curtis Blaydes over any of those guys, to be completely honest. I love Stipe. He's one of my favorite fighters, but Curtis Blaydes is a tough matchup for him. Next, I want to talk about 2 light heavyweight fighters. Now that John Jones is gone, that whole division kind of opens up and it's in a rebuilding stage. The first fighter I'm going to talk about is Alexander Rake. This dude put on a really, really good performance against Anthony Smith, who at one point fought for the title. And it is basically a one-sided beatdown. He leg kicked Smith, took him to the ground and beat him up. And I know he was getting a lot of A lot of flack for not really finishing the fight or not putting on too much pressure, but he did what he needed to do to win. And after seeing that clip of what he did to Jamie Manuwa, you just know that he has really, really good striking, despite, Manuwa, he's been knocked out a couple times. The next light heavyweight I want to talk about is Jiri Prochaska. This is a dude that, came to the UFC from Ryzen, I believe, and he just has really, really good, crazy, unconventional striking. He fought Volkan Ozdemir, and he lost the first round for sure. Came back strong in the second round and knocked the dude out. He kind of reminds me of Johnny Walker, so there's a little bit of hesitation there to just say that he's going to become a champion, but he certainly has a really good chance beating a guy like Volkan. Now, another guy I want to talk about is Jeff Neal, and I know this isn't a guy that's super flashy. Not a lot of people know about him as much, but he should be on your radar because I really like his mentality. He knows, I think, where he fits into this division, and he knows that he has to get better. And from interviews, it just sounds like he's taking it slow. He's taking baby steps, and he's going to climb slowly and hopefully become a champion someday. I really like his mentality. He has the skills to back it up, and I have high hopes for him in the future. Okay, everybody, so those are who I think are some prospects who could fight for the belt someday. Let me know what you think. Who did I miss? Who on this list is just wrong? Who won't be a champion? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. I have plenty of MMA-related videos on this channel, and be sure to check me out on Instagram and Twitter for some MMA goodness.